Well, G20 leaders issued a communique containing several strong signals calling for bold climate action. For the first time, they have made it very clear that have recognized the importance of reaching net zero emissions by 2050. At the moment, 90% of G20 countries have committed, are committed to net zero plans or have indicated their intention to do so. And that is a major step forward. Analysts saying that this would have been unthinkable a few years ago. And they have also reaffirmed the more ambitious Paris Agreement goal of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees as opposed to the baseline objective of 2 degrees Celsius. And that is also a major announcement and a major step forward, as some of the world's largest emitters had not yet officially embraced that goal of 1.5 degrees of warming. Now, as they are set together in Glasgow, they will need to explain how they will deliver on those plans. And that's when it gets tricky here at COP26. So far, 140 countries have submitted their updated targets, CO2 reduction targets in the short term for 2030. And India, for example, has yet to officially submit its nationally determined contribution, NDC, as they are called. China's NDC is out on the other hand, but it has been described as disappointing by several analysts, as China has only reaffirmed its existing plans of peaking emissions in 2030 and reaching carbon neutrality in 2060. So now the priority at COP26 will be bridging the gap between the promises and action. And there are concerns now in Glasgow that negotiators will not achieve what they initially set out to achieve here in Glasgow, with UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, the host of this year's summit, warning that if COP26 fails, then the entire system will fail.
Now, the World Meteorological Organization has also just released its State of the Climate report. What more can you tell us about this?
Right. So the climate crisis has driven the world into uncharted territory. That's the conclusion from today's report released by the WMO. And what we know from this report is that the world has been consistently breaking all kinds of records. So greenhouse gas emissions have reached an all-time high. Rising sea levels have also reached new heights. And the past 7 years have been the warmest on record. And this report has also provided several examples of how extreme weather events have been wreaking havoc across the planet. We know, for example, that in Greenland, we have seen episodes of rain as opposed to snow, for example. Extreme rainfall as well happening in China. In the span of just hours, we saw the equivalent of the rainfall for more than a month. So these are just some of the few examples that have been given in this report. It's just one of several reports that have been released in the past few weeks and months. And the hope now is that when leaders gather in Glasgow, this will be an indication, this will inform the official policymaking process.